Hey guys, welcome to another video from Historic Militaria. Today we're going to be looking at some rather unusual Soviet World War II ammo, and that is an original 20 pack of 7.62 by 54 rimmed, made for a specific machine gun, and that would be the ShKAS aircraft machine gun. And ShKAS stands for Shpitalny Komartsky Rapid Fire for Aircraft, and it's pretty much unpronounceable for me in Russian, but that's the English translation of it. And when they said rapid fire, they meant it. It had a standard cyclical rate of 1,800 rounds per minute, and it could be slowed down to 1,650 per minute. And they even experimented with one that fired 3,000 rounds per minute, but they ran into some issues with it, so they didn't have it in any major production. But the gun itself was made from 1934 to 1945, and it was quite successful during World War II, having what I believe was the highest rate of fire of any aircraft machine gun in World War II, and really only until like the M61 Vulcan cannons in the 1950s, I believe, did it get surpassed. But at any rate, this is ammunition made specifically for that aircraft machine gun, and these are standard 7.62 by 54 rounds, but they are actually Armor Piercing Incendiary Tracer, and you can tell that by the distinct colors on the nose. Obviously, most militaries use different color bands to denote different functional types of ammunition. But these cartridges are different than your standard rifle ammunition. They were definitely made for better tolerances for use in a machine gun that was firing so quickly and going through so many cycles so fast. So you had a double crimp on your bullet, and you had a thicker walled case, which obviously you can't just see by looking at it, but it was just sort of made to be more sturdy, more hardy, and also had primers that were somewhat different. So here we can look at some various 7.62 by 54 rounds. This one is a pre-war. That's the standard primer. This is another standard pre-war in a steel cased with a copper wash. This is a wartime with a copper wash, and again you can see that you've got a different primer pocket there, and the primers weren't put in as deeply, if I recall correctly. And also, it's maybe a little bit hard to see, but you have a symbol there that looks like an E, but actually is zh in Russian, in Cyrillic. So that's going to denote a casing made specifically for the ShKAS machine gun. These particular rounds were produced in 1940 at Barnaul, which is code 17 at the time. And this is an original 20-round pack of them. Unfortunately, it's seen better days, but none of these really survived very well. And most of them are finished repacks that you're going to see these days if you do run into this ammunition. But this is an original Soviet 20 pack of them. Obviously, we could pull a couple of rounds out because it's not sealed up anymore. And just in case you're curious, the Russians have been using this kind of packaging for quite a long time. This is actually an 1887 Berdan round, and they use the same kind of paper with the same kind of ties and everything else. So they've used it for a long, long time. But again, just an interesting round that you don't see very often. And if you run across one of these kinds of primers or this kind of round with obviously a functional type that would be Armor Piercing Incendiary Tracer, you may want to think twice before firing it in a standard rifle. I've heard a lot of information that they are not safe for Mosin Nagants. I am not going to pass judgment on that because I don't know, and I have not seen an authoritative source which states anything unusual about them. If you have this in shooting quantity, good for you, because you don't see it too often. I know the Finns did repack it and issue it out, and I don't believe it was for ShKAS guns, so maybe they know something we don't, but again, probably err on the side of caution, not shoot it out of your rifle, just collect it and have it as an unusual item from World War II. As always, thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe.